Hello, I'm Tom Florin, owner of Florin's Trapping Supplies and Fur, and today we're going to talk about dog-proof coon traps. To begin with, this is a small stream that most average trappers are going to be on at one time or another. Some of them are easier than others. I picked this location because of the high bank. The coon are running this high bank, and later on we'll set a coon trail up on the bank farther up. But for right now, the coon are going to see this when I get through with it. All right. What we want to do is we're going to clean up, make this so that it looks like it's been messed around with. Give it some eye appeal. Now, if you're working in an area with thieves, you're not going to want to make so much eye appeal. Short gloves work pretty good for this kind of trapping. We've got our hammer. Now, before I get too far, we're going to talk a little bit about the dog-proof coon traps. This is the one that revolutionized the dog-proof coon trap industry. This is a little Grizz. It's a little worse for wear. It's got a lot of coon in it already. You'll notice that I have a 10-inch piece of 1x2 and it's zip tied to the trap. I trap several states. A lot of states I have coyote and dog problems. The one problem I found with this style of trap is once it tips over, the coons leave it alone. They'll just walk by it. So what I had to do is zip tie a little stake on to keep it from getting tipped over. And on this particular trap, what I really prefer to do is I double stake. That's a little good. And the other thing, when you put the zip ties on these, don't put them down so far that they cover that slot, because when they go to pull it up, it won't go off. The new one on the block is put out by Duke's. It's exact look. I like it. It's exact, very, except for the anchoring system. Those run $240, where I sell these in my store for $135. So, you know, cost, it's the same trap. I got two 24-inch stakes, and they're the ones with the nuts on top, so that if you use T on this is dry enough where it'll get wrapped up into the T, and you've got a good chance of having a loss. I've never lost an animal from overstaking. And as you can see, this is going to take a little bit here and there. This isn't prepared. This is on the spot, just like you would find in a regular trap line. The way this ground is, I wouldn't want to use anything but a double stake. Now, a lot of times, what I do in these dog-proof coon traps is I take a big one of the large marshmallows, and I pull the trigger up from the outside, and I'll stick that marshmallow in right onto that trigger. They can't get it out of there without setting it off. But today we're just going to use bait. Excuse me, I've been blessed with a strong hand, but those who don't, You really don't need to buy setters. You can take a trap stake and just go like that, and it'll do the same as far as a setter. And you've got the stake with you anyway, so you might as well use it. Then I just push that down in the ground. Now see how much sturdier that is? This trail scent comes in a lot of different varieties. There's shellfish, there's also crayfish, there's salmon oil, there's fish oil, and this is crayfish, which I really is starting to be one of my favorites. This bait is brand new on the market. It's made by Dick Lawrence. It's called Last Rites. It's a very appropriate name. The good stuff about this is if that coon comes and somehow cleans me out, he's going to be back tomorrow night, guaranteed almost. This is good stuff. Now I'm going to grab a bait stick here. I'll show you what this is for later on. If you're in a climate where it isn't freezing, don't be stingy on your bait, okay? Don't be stingy on your lure. Don't be stingy on your trail scent, okay? You might spend whatever you want on just doing the scent, but if it's going to cost you a coon, I just as soon put everything I got at him instead of being stingy. I want that coon to stick around. Now, if I'm not worried about freeze-ups, I'll load that puppy right up. All right, stuff it down in there so it gets under the trigger. I'll fill this half full. Now, in this state, we have exposed bait laws. All right, as you can see, I'm putting a little bit on the outside here, and I'll show you how to make that work in a little bit so you don't get a ticket. Once we got that bait in there, we'll use our trail scent, okay? Now don't be stingy on this neither. I'll spread it around like that, and I know them coon are running down this bank. Now I'll squirt like that, and I'll squirt right around like that. They'll follow that trail scent, all right? I'll even come over here a little bit. Let them smell it. Let them get a good whiff. Then they'll start hunting it up. Next thing I like to do is there is no, as you notice, there isn't nothing in here that the coon can get tangled up in. That's the number one problem with coon. If you have a pull out, usually they got tangled up tight. Now, everybody likes how much shellfish oil works. Shellfish oil is a synthetic. It's not a natural, okay? I don't like putting it right down on the ground for the coon to get a hold of. I want to use it for a call lure. I'm going to put it up here and let it drip down that branch, okay? Now when that air currents come down through here, this is going to be in an upper air current, okay? It's going to be taken out. There's enough of a current in here that this lower is going to actually, if there's no dead air, if it's dead air, that current will actually move a little air above it, and it'll take that trail scent down with it, down the creek, and kind of fold out. So just because the air isn't moving, you can use fast water to your advantage that way. And that'll pull them from a longer distance. That'll spread out. Oh, and before I go, this product right here is new on the market. This is the Duke dog-proof coon trap. The design has been around for a while. Duke has just come out with a little bit of a different style on the holding of it, on the anchor system. Sorry. But what the good thing about these dog-proof traps is don't underestimate how much they will get you into places that you would not have gotten into before. Okay. You take this up to the landowners, to the farmers, and you show them this trap, and you demonstrate to them that a dog, even if it had a small enough foot to fit in there, couldn't set it off, okay? And let them know that if you use marshmallows and sweet bait, you're not going to be catching his cats neither. And I'll tell you what, you're going to get a lot more properties and a lot more trapping land than you would have before. So take advantage of it. But one word of warning, when you tell them you're going to use one of these, and that's what you're going to use it. That's what you're going to set. Don't go in there and set a bunch of footholds and connie bears, okay? Bad word travels faster than a good one. And we don't need any more black eyes as trappers, all right? So do the right thing. And before I go, also, I was going to tell you that exposed bait, if you take some grass and you cover up that bait and some leaves or whatever, and you cover that up from birds of prey above, you're legal, okay? Some states it doesn't matter. Now all the products that you've seen here today are available at www.florencetrapping.com. Anything else you need to know, questions, I have questions and answers on the website. You feel free to contact me that way or by phone. And remember, this is free, so just give me a call. Take care.